What's good, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Take Time Out with Tre Mosley. And I am your host, Tre Mosley. And today, for all you young ladies out there, and or guys too,
Yeah.
um, my next guest, for many of you, has been the voice of one of the most iconic toys, dolls, characters, you name it. Uh, in the last, I don't know, since she debuted, the doll, not Chris. Chris has
Oh,
been
you
here
make
a
that
while.
sound so exciting. Debut. I love debut.
But Chris Anthony Lansdowne, for you guys and gals who don't know, uh any Barbie fans out there, um she has lent her voice to that character, to that doll, for many years, and there have been many people who've done it after, but there's nothing like the original. So I give to you my guest, Chris Anthony Lansdowne.
Well, hello. Hi, everybody. Hi.
So before
Happy
we get into what most people want to get into, we'll get to her later. But
Yeah.
let's hop back in the Wayback Machine and get to know a little bit more about you. Um, as far as uh, prior to voiceover, because sometimes I talk to people, they say, "Well, this is something I always wanted to do. Certain things on the path led me to it. I
Mm.
may have been in the theater, like what in the cartoon world, every hero or heroine has an origin story. So
Yeah.
for you, what would be your origin story into this foray of voiceover?
Can I just say, I just love your voice. And, you're just like a warm blanket when you just talk, and I feel like I want to just go get a cup of coffee, put my slippers on, and talk to Trey. I
I
just have to say
I
that
appreciate that.
because it's not just, I don't mind talking about me, but let's face it, I'd rather talk about you. But I would spend all day just talking about life with you. But you want to hear some stories, and I'm gonna come up with a couple because that's why you asked me here, right?
Hey,
So
I always say life happens. So
yeah,
we all have our stories. But thank you. I try to take good care of my instrument. It serves me well, so I try to serve it well also.
well, I really feel like it's not just the instrument. It's like what's down in there operating the instrument. And I got a good feeling about you. It's like it's a heart issue. You're a good person, and that feeling comes out through the pipes and out to life. I mean, I'm not trying to be goofy about it, but it's just when you're around good people and you feel that, and it's like I'm just putting that out there because I think it's true. People
I
like
take it
you.
and receive it. Thank you
You're a
so
good,
much.
good guy.
I'm
So,
supposed to be interviewing
oh
you.
oh, all right. Well, we're going to talk about you at some point. So let's
It's
see.
fine.
You want to know about me. So your question was, and forgive me because this is what happens. I just trail off.
It is
um,
quite. You know what? With this podcast, we start one place, and sometimes we go
and
all the
that's
way around. We go around the corner just to get across the street on this show. So there is no wrong way to do it here.
you see why I like you. Do you see what I mean? We're already across the street and down the road
There
going
you
to
go.
work. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, if you don't mind, I take the long way around. Sometimes I take the scenic route. So, um, I've been in this business for over 40 years, so it's been a journey. And I was at the beginning when dinosaurs were walking the earth.
Cut it out.
And I've just seen so much, and loved this business, and I've seen so many changes. And when I first started out, and I think a lot of people tell the same story. My intention was to be a sitcom actress. I always wanted to be on a sitcom. I loved Carol Burnett. I loved I Love Lucy. I loved all of them. It's like those are my heroes growing up. And I think back in high school when I was young, um, I remember doing a lot of the like pep rallies for like football games. I don't know if you might be too young to your school did that. They had pep
Oh, we
rallies for
had pep
football
rallies.
games.
Oh, believe
Pep
it. Yeah.
rallies. And whenever they needed a crazy character to come out and get the crowd going, and do skits and funny, goofy stuff, I used to dress up like all kinds of crazy characters for my school. There was a
Yeah.
cause. And I was in drama and musical theater and all this craziness. And I think back, did I ever learn anything at school? How was I in math or English or anything else? I don't know. I was going to be an actress. Um, but I really did have that in my spirit. That's going to be my journey. And I think it was like around, right after I graduated, like 18 years old. Yeah, 18, that's a long time ago. I decided
Tell me
to
about it.
yeah, thank you for saying that because, you're way younger than me, sir. I know
Yeah,
you
but
are.
my 18 is way back there. I'll be 50 this year, and
You are! Woohoo! I'm celebrating you. What day's your birthday?
October 22nd.
Okay. We're going to write this down, sir. I'm going to be singing you a birthday song.
Oh,
You're
thank
not going
you.
to want it, but I will. Anyways, I ended up getting an agent. I was living in a town called Escondido, and I went to San Diego and I found an agent, and I had no experience. I did impressions and goofy voices, and I was just ready to experience the business. And I met this awesome agent named Nancy Washburn. Here she was sitting behind this big desk, and I come in there because I got this interview, and I don't even know how I got the interview. I came in, and she looked at me, and she goes, "Well, honey, what do you do?" I
Uh,
went, I did impressions, and I think I did seagull impressions and voices and things for her, and she just looked at me and goes, "What am I going to do with you? You are just a little crazy thing." And believe it or not, this agent is still a personal friend of mine after all these years. She's
wow.
still a really good friend, and she started sending me out on commercials. She had commercials, like you would see a young mom or a bank teller. How much money do you want? Just really dumb blondes. And I think I I think I must have gone on a million commercial auditions, and I started booking them, and I was having a good time. I was a little commercial actress, and
That's cool.
well, wait, it gets bad. I get a part here and there on a show, and I was doing okay until there was one day I remember sitting in a room, and I was on this audition, and it was on camera where you could see the actress, and I looked around the room, and I saw all these glamorous girls. They were just, oh, it was like, what is this, the early 80s? They were just like these big hair and these lips, and they were just so glamorous. And I just looked at them and I went, I don't want to be that. I said, my agent almost fired me for this one. I went in the bathroom and I blacked out a front tooth with like an eye pencil.
Wow.
I can't believe it. But I thought either I'm going to get this job, maybe, and I get 5 million glamorous girls in the room that are competing against this one job. I took an eye pencil and I blacked out my front tooth. I, I looked so ugly. And I thought, I just kind of kept my head down. I didn't say anything. And I've blacked out my teeth for other jobs, believe me. And I just sat there and I waited. In those days, you go into the room where the casting directors are sitting behind a table. You give them your resume, you give them your headshot, and they talk to you, and then they film you. But, it's not that way anymore. So
Yeah.
I went and kind of did this with my mouth so you couldn't see my tooth. And so I read the lines, and I don't know if it was like a cosmetic thing or something very glamorous. And then I went, and I just love this product. And it was like, this reflect
That tooth sitting there, or lack thereof.
the lack thereof. I see they went, what are you doing? I said, you're gonna see 10,000 women out there, but you're not gonna get one like me. I booked that thing. I booked it.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, I just clapped in the. Well, I didn't exactly book that commercial. I sort of booked another commercial. They didn't see me for that role, but they saw me for another role, and they gave me a commercial that was really funny. It was like I was like this construction worker with a hat on, and I was a girl construction worker. It was very funny, but you know what? The reason I'm telling you this is why, Chris, why? Is because there came to a certain point in my life where I thought, I'm just kind of tired of being locked into this, the way you look image,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just not, I just hit that point and I thought, I could be anything if I did voiceover. Anybody. I could be grandmas. I could be Bug. Hey, Raid! I did Raid! I did crazy voices and I thought, I'm not going back to that. I'm going to be free and I'm going to do any age, any look, anybody I want in a voice, So I think I did. My first commercial, one of them was like Knott's Berry Farm jelly. Do you remember Knott's Berry Farm? It's
I
still
do.
on, right?
Yes.
I went, oh, hi, I'm the jelly. And I
Wow.
oh, are you impressed? I booked it and I went, yeah, that's it. I'm not going to go back to Glamourland.
That's
So did I
crazy.
answer your question? Probably not. But anyways, I started my journey on voiceover and I moved to LA and I was in the big city. I went to the big city. You know how you do that. Okay, I'm going to the big city. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you one really goofy story was when I did that, I had a little, I had some clients that I worked in San Diego. That was my little fishbowl.
Yeah.
And when I went to the big city, it was like, you're starting all over again. You gotta meet new people and get new clients, and I got a new agent. And so I decided, well, everybody was taking on like a little side job. I would take a side job.
Oh boy. Let's buckle up for this.
It wasn't as bad as you think, but it was pretty bad. And so I decided to take a little waitress job.
Oh, okay.
My friends are doing fine, right?
Yeah.
I could do this. I couldn't do it. I could memorize food, drinks. You got it. I was so bad. I think you would start with a certain amount of money at the beginning of the night, and then you would, come back the. I lost money. I had no money at the end of the night. I went. It was bad. So here I am, my first and one and only waitress job. I did not waitress after this. I went to this, it was like a family restaurant, and got this little tray, and I'm just trying to make, get the orders right. And there was this guy on stage singing. He was singing acoustic guitar. He was singing beautiful songs, like originals, really deep, heartfelt. Voice was it was such a great voice. I thought, oh, he's so good. I thought, I'm just going to act like I know what I'm doing. And I just walked by with my little tray. And I thought, I got to do something. I got to do something to earn some money. So I started doing voices while I'm taking orders. Seriously.
That's smart. Yeah.
I had to find a way to make some money because I wasn't doing a good job at the other part of it. So I would do, I remember doing like, well, come on, honey. You want your drink? I'll get you a drink for you. Well, I became a little bit loud and a little bit too loud for the singer on stage. Okay, I'm telling you this for a reason. He's up there and he's singing beautiful songs, and I'm back there making all kinds of racket trying to get tips, right? He goes over the microphone. He goes, what? With the waitress? Please hold it down. I'm trying to sing up here. I went, would you tell the singer I'm trying to make a living back here too?
Uh-oh.
So the whole audience goes,
I bet.
looked at me, and they went, oh, ooh, this is gonna get wild. And he goes, yeah, well, Miss Waitress, if you think you're so good at that, entertaining stuff, come on up here on the stage. You just- so I set down my tray, went up on stage, took the microphone, he went, he goes,
Oh, wow.
what are you doing? I said, I'm going to sing a song. And he goes, oh, really? Let's hear your voice. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle. Well, I kept forgetting the end of the song, and I kept saying, "What? Oh, that's because I'm a sugar bowl. I'm not a I did some kind of stupid routine. Everybody's clapping and laughing. And guess what? He was sitting there doing this.
Mm.
He asked me out for breakfast.
Oh.
I've been married 38 years.
What? Come on, man.
That's the story I'm telling you.
That is the story.
Seriously.
Yeah.
The crazy
Wow.
man married me.
He was like, I got to keep her. And
Okay, so what does it have to do with the question? I have no idea other than I went to LA, got married to this great guy who, God, he's so sweet and so talented, puts up with me. I kept on my journey of, I got an agent, AVO Talent, which is Sandy Schnarr and Peter Verano.
yes.
They've been my agents for, what, over 35 years?
Wow.
You know, so I never, they just keep me going, and I keep on loving the fact that God has given me a job every time. I think, wow, did I really deserve this? Because competition is so fierce now, Trey, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's like when you book something, you go, huh? You booked me?
Yes. Like me?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I
did. You
got
just
that.
go.
Yeah,
You-
it's crazy out there.
Everybody is competing for that same job now, you know? And it's all, the internet opened up the door to so many people. But, you know, I always believe that if it's supposed to be mine, it'll be mine. If it's not mine. You know,
Yeah.
the worst thing you can do is sit there and look at somebody else and go, oh, that should have been mine. I want that. And it's like, no, you don't. If you spend your life looking at somebody else's plate of food and you go, oh, but what are those? You're wrong thinking. You have to keep yourself fixed on what is in front of you. Be
Yes.
grateful for what you have. Eat from the plate you got, and just thank God that you got something to eat. And it's like, don't waste your time longing for something else. What's yours is yours. And I've believed that my whole career, you know. So it's hard. Sometimes you go, what? Oh man. And but it's keep your eyes ahead and don't be looking around to what everybody else got and you don't, you know. So,
Absolutely. Now I want to go back a step. And I like to talk about this, especially with actors who have spouses or significant others.
now you know I have one because I married him. He was on the stage.
Well, there you go. Talk about how important it is to have a good support system that enables you to start this journey, number one,
Yeah.
and to have been doing this for 40 years. Because I could imagine the first couple of years,
Yeah.
maybe you weren't booking as much,
Yeah.
and you may have had some times where it's like, man, I don't know, like
You do.
how has he been inspirational and supportive for you over the years?
You kind of go through, seasons of just, you'll go like drought. And you'll go, oh, you see tumbleweeds blowing through the
Mhm.
town. Nothing out there but the dry desert. You go, I'm done. I'm done. That's it. And then all of a sudden a stream opens up and you go, oh, really? Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm going to drink all that.
Yeah.
My husband's really been a big part of my journey. And he really supports me. Because he has a part of him that at one point he was an entertainer himself in the music business. He had at one point decided to not pursue that anymore. When my daughter was born, he didn't want to be the kind of father that was on the road
Oh,
and
yeah.
all into the music thing and not seeing her grow up. I have one daughter, so um, he has every bit of talent that could have done it, could have gone that way, but that's not who he is. And he's just got a really deep heart and a good heart. And when it comes to me, he's always put me first. It's like, oh man, I just feel kind of guilty. You're like, really? Really? Okay. But he's been a support, especially technically speaking. Like, we have to now record ourselves, direct ourselves, edit ourselves, blah,
Yeah.
blah. If it wasn't for him, I would probably not be set up to do anything. He's just technically minded. And like before we started, he goes, let's check your mic. Let's make sure you're working. Blah, blah, blah.
There
I
you
go,
go. Yeah.
I could just turned it on and said, hi.
Mm.
Oh, it doesn't work. But you're married because I saw your wife and you guys are so cute together. Right? Right?
Yeah, yeah, that's my girl.
That's your girl. And you know what? I can tell there's love there. There's just love there. You guys got this whole working out thing you're doing right now. I was just kind of watching some of your videos and cracking up and thinking, this is so great and inspirational. You're doing it. It's your journey. You're getting healthy. You're doing your thing. But everybody else is going, yeah, yeah. I think I could do that too.
Hey, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
She has definitely been in any endeavor that I decide to do. If she sees that I'm serious about it, she is on board. Um,
Really?
I, I could not have a better partner.
What's her name?
Danielle.
Danielle. Yeah, you guys are so cute.
So yeah,
You can
she
watch it and see when somebody's really connected with somebody.
she is awesome. We'll be celebrating since we're here in Vegas. Lucky 7 is coming up.
Ew! Really? So you've
Yeah,
been married 7 years, and you've
yeah.
got the cutest cat because I saw that cat video. I'm a
Yeah,
cat person.
yeah, that
Uh,
rascal. He needs his own page. Actually, he does have his own page, but that's another
oh, he's
story.
got it. He's black and white, right? He's got
Yeah,
that
he's a
whole.
tuxedo. Hmm.
Because I saw him, he was like basking in the sun. He was like laying by that window, and he was like totally sprawled out. I went, "Yeah, a cat's life."
He's such a slob. He's so spoiled. Um, he
Well,
he really is.
can we talk
Speaking
about?
of our babies, even though your baby is not a baby anymore, but your daughter,
Yep.
um, is she into the business? Is it something she has considered, or she's doing her own
Yes,
thing?
he is. Yep. Yeah, it's funny because you know, I I don't know if I was not looking for her to be in the business. Some things just happen, and let me just give you a little story. I was at my agent's with Sandy Schnarr, and I was recording. This is when you'd go into the agency, and they had their booths, and you would audition for jobs and things. And uh, I went in one day, and I took Kelsey with me. Kelsey was like around 7 years old. And what she would do is like, there'd be actors in the lobby talking and chatting, and she would come in with me, sit on the floor, close the booth door, and the booth director would direct me. And I remember one day, Sandy came around the corner and she said, you're auditioning for a mom and a daughter. I think it was Ruby's Fish Grotto or something like that. It's a restaurant thing. And she says, there's a part for a daughter to read, a little girl. And I
Hmm.
went, oh, that's nice. She goes, why don't we just have Kelsey get up and just read the little girl's part? I went, huh? She doesn't know what to do. She's 7. But
Right.
she'd been listening to me for a long time, at least 7 years of it, sitting on the floor, just listening and coloring in her coloring book. She gets up on the stool and says, okay. And Sandy says, let her do it, Chris. Just let her try. I go, okay, she's not going to know what to do. And then the mic goes in front of her. She goes, hi, I'm Kelsey. I went, and so we both read on this commercial for Rubio's Fish Grotto. She was the little girl. She had a couple lines. I don't even know how well she read, but she said her lines. I did the mom. I says, "Oh, honey." We're talking back and forth. And I thought, wow, that was cool. That was really fun. Next day, she books the job. First time she's ever read,
Wow.
booked it. And I went, wow. Well, okay. We got this. We did it for the mom. Not you. They didn't pick me.
What? So the kid gets the gig and not the mom.
Oh, it's so funny. Kelsey books it with another mom. And I went, oh, that's nice.
Did you ever find out who the other mom was?
Well, you're so happy that your kid does something. You never feel it. It's like you're just, I'm elated that my daughter booked the job. I didn't care who the mom was. But it was funny because I drove her to the session, her first session. I drove, and I remember getting out of the car and, going to the lobby and seeing the girl they picked for the mom. And hi. I'm her mother.
Yeah, I'm the real mommy.
But I think that was the real starting point. She started booking stuff, and I think in school, when growing up, she was in musical theater and acting and stuff, and so had a kind of a feeling she might go that direction. She did. She started booking commercials and jobs and stuff. And I went, wow, okay, if that's the way it is, I'll support her. I mean, my parents let me, so I'm going to support whatever her dream is. And she's now doing video games, and she's she's quite the actress.
Cool.
One time I came home and I went, that audition sounds very familiar.
Oh.
It was mine, too. You're so happy when your kids are doing well. You don't care, but
Yeah, that's cool.
Really sweet.
Have you guys ever worked on anything together, though?
Yeah, we did. We did once or twice. We did an audio drama.
Oh,
It was a
okay.
really cool audio drama. She played a real feisty kid in it, and I think I was Mrs. Who was I? I think I was the president's wife. Oh well, gosh, I can't even remember. It was oh dear, I can't remember. But I played like the president's, and I was like, it was back in the. I have a CD of it somewhere, a DVD. But we were on an audio drama together, and it was really fun. It was fun. And then Adventures in Odyssey, we're not really talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
She auditioned for parts on that and did really well on Adventures in Odyssey. Not because of me, because she was able to book them herself. And I was really proud of her because, you have to be on your own.
Yeah.
Someone can book you, but you basically have to deliver and you have to be a good actor. You can't just wing it. Voices aren't, just having funny voices is not enough. You have to be a good actor. I'm talking to you.
Yeah,
So.
and that's something I want to touch on because, and you may get this as well. We get inundated with, hey, I want to do what you do. I can make funny voices. I can make people laugh. And while that's cool, that's just one layer of the onion. Like, what else can you do? If I give you cold copy without a warm up and say, okay, you got 30 seconds to sell some shoes, go. Can you do that? So talk about the importance of just the preparation into being a voice actor and how important it is to really, I've had people that have come to me and they think VO is just a quick money grab. And I'm like, oh, you're going to be disappointed. Talk about the importance of really loving what you do and why it's necessary to, even after 5, 10, 20, 30 years, to keep honing your craft.
Oh yeah. It is not a bunch of just voices. It's got layers, and it's got, when you think about voiceover, it is acting. All the actors will tell you that do VO, it's acting that's gonna book the job. I mean, I do a lot, my animation voices. It's like they're characters that I've met in my life, believe it or not. If because I do coach, and they say, "Well, how do you get your characters for things?" And I think, "Hey, just open your eyes and look around. There's a whole world full of people and characters that you can meet and watch them talk, watch how they talk, ask them things about themselves. You get characters everywhere you go."
Absolutely.
And that for me is, I always take that, and I kind of like put it in my bag and I keep them, and I remember people I've met in my life, a funny aunt, or or the mailman talked a certain way or acted a certain way. I That's how I get my best characters, are from real people. And to this day, I'm in a workout. I don't stop that. You continue to grow. You continue to learn. Improv, and I'm sure interviewing people, improv is really important.
Yes.
If you learn how to be a good do improv, you're ready to, like, you get a script and you get a character and you're doing a great job, but there's always that little extra. You make them, say some things that are kind of quick-witted, or you're just adding to the character
Yeah.
because your mind's thinking that way. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
So improv's really good. Take some acting. It's all about acting. Look around, gather up some characters, and take it serious. It's a business. It's not a side job. It's a business. There's a lot to do. And I this one workout that I go to, it's really good. It's like you sit there and you get a script and you get a few seconds with it, and then you go up and you cold read, and the whole room of people critique you.
Oh boy.
And it keeps you sharp,
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine.
It's a good workout. It's a good workout. Something I really enjoy doing. But I'm always learning. I'm not I might be old. Yes, I might be old.
Oh,
But
stop.
I'm not gonna be done.
There you go.
Growing. So did I answer your question? Of
It
course
did.
not.
No, you hey, this is your dime, your time, I always say.
Wait, I got it done.
So let me ask you this. Being that you are one of the voice actors who have literally seen transitions happen through the last 30 plus years. Speaking on just from a standpoint, and you've already kind of alluded to it, where back in the day had to actually physically go into a studio or physically go and shake your agent's hand. What are some things now that you feel may be an advantage that perhaps you didn't have back in the day? And then to reverse it, what are some things today that you feel that maybe you guys perhaps did it better back then? Or like what are some of the things that you like, that's cool, but then you're like, not so much, like some of the differences and comparisons from.
That was such a good question. You're good at this. That's a good question, because I immediately thought about the parts that I miss about it and the parts that I think are good too. So it's kind of like, I'm a social person, and I really liked going on auditions and seeing friends and people in the VO business, because you talk, you chat, you see them, you hear about their lives. I mean, I don't. That's important to me, because I go through this world connecting with people. I'm
Yeah.
not about in my own little bubble, and I just don't bug me. Wherever I go, I like to connect, because that's how I create my world. I don't know how to not do that. My husband sometimes says, "Do you have to talk to everybody, Chris?" I go,
Oh, my wife says I have never met a stranger, is what she tells me.
That's why me and you. But it's like that was part of the fun of the process of auditioning and in the business, and you're going to studios and you're sitting in the whole groups, and it's like the interaction. It was like, man, it was a great feeling, and just being a part of other people's lives. Like if you go on a job, you get booked for something, you want to go in and do your very best and be focused, but it's not all about that. You go in there, you talk to the casting people, you talk to the guy, the engineer, you ask them about their lives, who they are, what makes them happy, what
Yeah.
makes them sad. You connect with people, and it's like, that's what the world is. We're all good books, right?
Hey,
We're
I
like
like
just
that.
books. All you got to do is go open the book, and you're going to find out all kinds of good stories and all kinds of really interesting things. People are books. So to me, when I went on my gigs and auditions, it's like, hey, I'm just going to go find a good book. And it's like, there's 100 of them sitting there. So the reason I'm saying that is because the flip side to that is no, we don't have it as much. It's like you are
Yeah.
in your
You
box.
know, I always enjoy watching when I'm on YouTube, and sometimes I will go down the rabbit hole and it's okay. But watching actors ensemble casts
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
voiceover, I've I've done things where, hey, you record your part today, they'll record their part tomorrow. And
yeah,
it's like, okay.
yeah.
I was
That's
I
not
was
you.
I was fortunate enough. Um there was a video game that I'm a part of called Starfield. And you know, it was such a huge game. There's over like over 400 voice
Woo!
actors. So we couldn't have had an ensemble for that. But I did a fighting video game based on the Karate Kid. And you know, after my session was over, as I'm coming out, one of my friends, Mara Juno, was about to do her session. So I'm like, this is rare. I get to watch her work. And that was so
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, to sit
You
in.
want watching other people work is like is really it's like it opens your mind of creativity too. It's like, hey, I like that how they did that. And
Right.
you add, you subtract. That's really cool. I get it. You know what? And I think the advantage of doing the recording by yourself is you can do it as many times as you want
Yeah.
until you get it right, which is bad too because then you beat it to death.
Yeah.
Like you go, okay, I'm on my 600th.
Oh,
600th.
yeah. And then all the takes start sounding the same. It's like, all right, this is take 9, which sounds like take 7, which really sounded like take 4,
29.
and now I need a drink. So, yeah, I get that. That I would
Yeah.
say for me, I'm like you. I have to be around people, feel their
Yes.
energy. If I'm just sitting here, and I've even had to tell myself like, you need to get pump it up, because I get an audition and I'm looking
Uh-huh.
at the specs. I'm like, all right, yeah, I can do this. And then I just kind of sit around like, I'm Mr. Lonely, because it's just you. And you gotta find that energy. Like, this is an energetic read, so you gotta really get up there. I'm like, I don't feel like really getting up there. But if you got
Well,
people in the
you listen
room, they're
to
like, come on, man,
yourself.
give us this, or come on, give us this. You feed off of that. So
Yes.
it's very
Well,
hard
if
sometimes
I
to.
was in the booth with you recording, I know we wouldn't get anything done because we'd be goofing around. You're like sitting next to some kid in my class, 10 years old, going, yes. You know, I do when um there's certain people that I sit next to at a couple of live shows that I went, "Oh, this is dangerous." Jess Harnell, you know who you are.
Oh
We
boy.
have sat next to each other and it's like, "Oh my gosh, they're gonna have to separate us." They go, "We're not putting you 2 together anymore," because he I'll make a mistake on a word and he'll just go he won't let me ever forget that word. He'll
I'm
just
that person. Just letting you know now. I am that
okay,
person.
fine. And I'm the person that makes a million takes because because I'm thinking about all kinds of stuff, but yeah, you would be sitting next
I'm
to
like,
me
the
and
word is Schenectady. Guess where we're going? Schenectady. Yeah.
Schenectady.
I am him. I don't know, and that's one thing I do envy about, um, you know, you guys is having that opportunity to do the ensemble thing. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You have to, as I say, you have to adjust the dial.
Yeah.
It isn't that way. So if you sit there and you long for it the way it was, it's not gonna do any good. Oh, but he used to be like this, and I kind of go. You have to kind of adjust the dial and go. Here's what it is. I'm gonna kind of fit it, do it, mold myself, and make it work this way.
Right.
And once you quit, it's like when we had COVID and used to go, oh, Christmases were so great because we're all together, and it's like you're sad because nobody can be in the same room. Okay, we all know we want that. It's how it was.
Hmm.
But if you keep on going, but this is a terrible Christmas because I can't, you just adjust the dial and you say, it's different this year. Whoever's here, you make the magic with whoever's in the room. If you just keep on longing for it to be the way it was, you're just going to be unhappy and
Yeah.
unsatisfied. So you just kind of take it by every day and you go, okay, this is what it is. I'm going to bring the happiness to it. That's what I do. It's my mindset. And I think, that's how I can make myself happy, is by not thinking about what I could be doing, what I did do.
Yeah.
I'm in the moment. I'm in the moment.
That
So,
is great perspective. I fall into that trap um, of, man, I wish this thing could happen or this thing could happen, but then I
yeah,
have to go, hey, it's
yeah,
not going to happen. So
right.
only focus on what you can control and what you can make happen, because the stuff that that you're longing for, that is out of the realm of possibility or you have no control over,
Yeah,
don't dwell on it. It's like, all right,
good, good.
that too shall
I'm
pass.
curious. Say I was your magic genie. Okay. It's
Okay.
good. And I says, Trey, I'm going to give you one wish. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be, I want the biggest this. It
Yeah.
could be small. Just a little wish. Is there something you would like to maybe try or do? Or it doesn't have to be in this business. Just a secret wish. Something that, you know, it's like kind of buckety list, you want to try. Is there
Ooh.
anything like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As I
Uh,
sit here and smile as it pops in my head. So, um, I guess you're waiting for a response.
yeah. Okay, okay,
Schenectady. It's
okay.
connected. No. Um,
I
I
just It's just me and you. I just want to. What's a little secret wish? It could be. It doesn't have to. It's just something
I'll
in
tell
your
you what
heart.
it is. It's something that I'm actually in the process of working on now. Growing up as a little black kid in the '80s, there were so many cartoons on, and I loved them. But I didn't really see many characters I could relate to.
That's it.
Um, so if that wish could be granted, it would be for the animated series that I'm working on to somehow any investor would say, "Hey, you know what? That's a good project you're working on. I'd love to be a part of it. What can I do to help? What can you do? How much time you got?"
Wow.
And it would the whole thing to me would be it's a love letter to those 9, 10, 11, 12-year old uh little black
Yeah.
boys and black girls who we love the Smurfs, we love the Snorks,
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
we love the Care Bears and then the Brave Stars and the He-Mans of the world. But
But
when the
yeah.
cartoon goes off, it's like I didn't really see. And I remember I was watching a show with a buddy of mine, and we were conscious of it, like what are black people at in this world? Like, do we not
Yeah.
exist? We're
Yeah.
here. Hi.
Where's that story? Where's that story?
Yeah. So
Yeah. You were entertained, but did you really get to connect? There's that thing that happened. Is like uh, you connect with something and say it's like, okay, I'm entertained, it's over, and then you go back to your life, and then it's like completely removed from that.
yeah, I want to share something with you. So speaking of the animated series that I'm working on, we're in the process of trying to get funding from any and everybody at this point. But what my wife did for me a few years back, she found this guy. Are you familiar with the Funko Pops, the little?
Oh yeah, I did
She
a
found a
Barbie.
guy that makes them custom, and I have a character in my show. He's the lead, and she got him to make a character, a Funko of my character.
Wait, put him again. Put him up one more time. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
he's you.
yeah,
He's
basically,
the coolest.
yeah. And I keep him in the studio with me. Um,
Yes,
it's just as a
yes.
reminder that one day this show is gonna happen. It's gonna be awesome, and I can't wait for it to happen. But that's my little reminder and inspiration, for that one wish, above
Good.
anything else. Voicing any other character or what, I would put it all aside to get this thing done. So that
See
is
that?
is my wish.
Okay,
Uh,
so we just talked about that, and it's like I want this to happen. I wish I was that magic genie could just go poof. But there's something to the journey of getting to that.
True.
It's important. There's stuff along the way. That that is a reality. It just needs to kind of go. The wheels got to turn and turn and turn. And
Yes.
there's things that are happening that we can't see, that we don't understand, and it's like baking a cake. You don't always see the ingredients that go into a cake,
Right.
but you leave out one of them, you go, eh. It's terrible. So what's happening is the ingredients are going into what you're doing, and and when that cake bakes, we're gonna see that show. That's just my thinking. My heart says that for
I
you. Thank you for
appreciate.
sharing that, because it's really important to you. I could feel it as you said it. I got those little chills. You know, just go, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I'm gonna bake you a cake when it happens too. But you
preferably a
know,
pound cake is my favorite. Just putting it out there.
oh well, my baking is not great.
We can doll it up with a little frosting, like, that's different.
It's not bad. Where's the sugar?
This cake must be
You
from
know,
Schenectady.
I was
Um,
telling somebody the other day about he it was really sweet. He was he might have been in his late 60s or something. It's like, I was talking to him and I was like just listening to him. And sometimes you listen with your ears or you listen with your heart.
yeah.
And I'm just listening to him, and it's like he's talking about, oh my gosh, this guy's been through so much. I could just feel it.
Oh wow.
And his stories were so rich, and so just kind of listening. And I thought, he's like have you ever seen the cast iron pans? Maybe you've seen the heavy cast iron.
I have a whole collection of cast iron
Oh, yes.
skillets.
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm thinking about this as I'm talking to him. I'm thinking, he's not that shiny Teflon pan that does a good job and the food slides right out and it's pretty.
Yeah.
This guy, when I had this picture in my mind, he was like a seasoned cast iron skillet pan,
Yeah.
that cooks good food. And the seasons are in the pan,
Yes.
You don't wash them with soap and water. You just you just wipe it out, let those seasons stay in there.
There
And when you
you
cook,
go.
you turn it up the heat, and all of a sudden the flavors, just kind of. I just get this picture in my head listening to him. I go, do you know what you remind me of? And he goes, no. I go, a cast iron pan. He went, oh,
It's
thanks.
like,
I go,
thank you, I think.
let me tell you why. Because he was that. You don't compare your life to that shiny pan. You're this deep, rich with life stories and experiences, and he was just so filled with so many great things. I thought, that's who you are. Don't ever compare to that, because you're a legend, Pan, So it was so good. I swear, he had tears in his eyes. I thought, what?
Oh,
I must have reached something, because my picture of him was just that was that. So I told him, and he hugged me,
oh, look
Next
at
time I see
you.
him, I'm gonna bring him a pan. I'm gonna take one of yours.
Like, here's a large cast iron skillet. Now do what you will with that.
Bam!
That's not what I meant, man. Medic. So it is now time to we've I don't if you're still watching, thanks. Because we've been all over the
Thanks.
place now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and now, kids, the moment you've been waiting for, we get to talk about her. So this Barbie chick, you guys have been connected for a while. Um,
Well, yeah,
how does
for a while.
that happen? And there are not many people who have the longevity that you've had with this one specific character. There are a few, but I think um and there have been so many different iterations of Barbie. But how did it even happen that you had the opportunity to voice her?
Well, there, not to change it, but I have to say there's two characters in my career that have made a huge difference for me.
Talk about it.
One was being, I don't know if you're familiar with Adventures in Odyssey, which is a audio drama for kids, and the production, the writing, all of it is just so top notch. And the stories are all written for kids that are facing real stuff.
Yeah.
It's like characters. It's all rich with great. I love Adventures in Odyssey. I'm Chris, the host of the show, and have been for 38 years.
Wow.
So it's probably the longest running audio drama in history. I don't know. It's a long time. That character is me, but not, and also not me. And
Yeah.
it's like, because it touches lives, it touches kids. Kids trust me. I call them. I can talk to them about life, and I'm honored that I've been the host of that show for this long. I meet so many voiceover people, friends on the show, because everybody wants to be on it. It's good writing, and it gives kids good choices. It's because this world is so full of junk that it's like,
Yeah.
sometimes they just don't have anything to relate to. So anyways, I bring that up because that is just one of my very favorite jobs. And my other one is Barbie. And it's 1994 I was cast as Barbie. I used to play on my bedroom floor with my Barbie with my sister. We'd fight over who would be Barbie. That's what I win. No. But, yeah, it was like, and I remember having an old tape recorder, like by Mattel. This old tape recorder, it was like a reel to reel that you'd pop it on, and then you could record stuff. And I used to do voices on it. I used to, hi, and all that stuff. I used to play with that tape recorder and with my Barbie. Fast forward
I
all these
mean,
years, Mattel, I'm doing Barbie. Not with the tape recorder, but it was all kind of connected for me.
yeah.
But I had been, like I told you earlier, pursuing the voice acting, for many years. And then 1994 came, and I had an audition for a doll. I didn't know what it was for. It was Mattel, dolls, a lot of dolls, kids and dolls, makes sense. So what happened was, I've told this story before, and so I don't want to drag it out for you, but it was during 1994. There was an earthquake in Northridge, California.
Wow.
I lived 20 minutes from it, but so it affected where I was living. There was an earthquake going on, and I had a baby and a husband, and I was going, oh, this is scary stuff. I'd never been in an earthquake. You have things shaking and the walls and the stuff falling. It's like, the water gets turned off, and it's just scary. I'm saying this is because the next day I had this audition that I had no idea what it was for. I just thought, oh, well, I can't go to my audition. Oh, I'm in an earthquake. I thought, why in my head am I even thinking about an audition during an earthquake? That's an acting thing.
Yes, it is.
And so what happened was I had picked up my phone and said, look, I'm not going to come. I apologize. I'm not showing up. I'm in an earthquake. And The director was, oh, don't worry about it. We understand. He goes, we're up against, time thing. Hey, can you basically just give us a couple lines and we'll know if you're in the, if this is going to be a good thing, for our product. He didn't
Yeah.
say what. And so I went, okay, fine. I'll just go sit in my bedroom and sit on the floor and on my phone. What do you want me to say, sir, director? He goes, well, we'll know if you're right for this. So just say, hi, this is Barbie. Welcome to McDonald's. And I went, yeah, hi, this is Barbie. I went, did you say Barbie? Seriously, Tre, Barbie?
Right.
The icon Barbie? Can I have another day with this? And he said, just say the lines. I went, okay. I thought in my head, what does every little girl want to play with? They want a best friend. They want somebody soft. They want somebody caring. I put it all in my head as fast as I could. I thought, not cool, hip. That's not that vibe. This was the 90s. I went, hi, it's me, Barbie. Wow, you look cool. Welcome to McDonald's. And it just came out and I went, cool. And he didn't say anything. The director said nothing. I went, do you want me to do it again? He says, no. Is there any way you could come down to Mattel tomorrow? Just come down.
What?
I went, come down. Well, because I want someone to hear you. And I went, that's what I said. I went, okay, I'll come tomorrow. And I'm thinking, bye. I go to tell my husband, literally, we have no running water. I got a baby. He's, kind of making sure is okay. He goes, you need to go. You need to go. Remember we said about supportive people? You need to go. Just go. I'll take care of everything. I go, I can't even take a shower. How am I going to look like Barbie? Put on my baseball cap and I put on some pink lipstick. Tre, I tell you, I got in my car kind of like in this cloud of thinking, what am I doing? I'm leaving my husband with the baby kind of, tremors were still coming in. I pulled up to Mattel. I went, okay, this is way back when. This is like 94. In the lobby, as you walk into Mattel, it's not this way now. There was this gigantic Barbie, like an Oscar standing in the lobby.
Oh, wow.
And here I am in my little baseball cap, and I'm thinking, yeah, right. I'm gonna be the voice of this, sure. And I went, I just looked at her, and I thought, okay. And it was like, I felt this feeling. I want just go do what you gotta do. Go do. And the receptionist goes, are you Chris? I said, yeah. She goes, go back to the sound studio. We'll have somebody walk you back there. I said, thank you very much. I'm just, my stomach, I want to barf. I'm so scared. I'm walking through with all these cubicles, like Mattel in those days, they were working on toys in the cubicles.
Yeah.
You could see the Hot Wheels, and you could see Terminator, like Transformers, like you see all these toys. She says, try not to, be rubbernecking around looking at, hey, what are you working on? What are you working? Because it's big business.
Yeah.
Toys, you steal toy
Like an
ideas.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm walking back to the studio. Sorry, the story's so long,
No,
but I gotta tell you.
please.
There was the director. He says, he showed me the microphone in the little booth, and he says, just sit up there, and we're gonna just have you do what you did on the phone. And I went, okay, I don't remember because I was in an earthquake. And as I looked into the glass, there's like 7, 8 people in there.
Wow.
Like, suits on. It's fancy schmancy looking. And I went, this is interesting. And he goes, just do what you did on the phone for them, okay? I went, hi, it's me, Barbie. You look cool. Welcome to McDonald's.
Every time, just nailed it.
And even when I do it, I'm going to cry. I don't know what's wrong with me. But they went like this. They went,
oh, yeah.
I thought, okay, have a nice day. I'll see you later. And in slow motion, he takes his finger onto the talk back button and goes, "Hi, Barbie. Ready to go to work tomorrow?" I went, "Huh?" Just like that.
He called you Barbie.
Right there. Right there.
Oh,
And when I'm saying, when God wants you to do a job, it's gonna
I'm
happen.
telling you.
Not even an earthquake's gonna stop it. And I went, wow, we recorded toy after toy. We did computer games and talking teacher dolls and talking skates and cash registers that talked. She had no voice, but suddenly she could talk. She was on everything, and I was in there for days, weeks of just recording. It was like coming, you see flowers blooming. I would cry at the end of the day thinking how I got chosen for this. And I thought to myself, I couldn't even tell people I was her. I was not allowed to tell the industry who was doing the voice. Mattel didn't want me to tell anybody. I couldn't go to a job and say, yeah, I'm doing this, or whatever came up, I could not talk about it.
Oh,
And I thought
man.
it was kind of torture, but I used to call little girls that were sick in the hospital. "Hi, it's me, Barbie. You'll be okay." They didn't know I did it.
Yeah.
But I found a way of just using it for the good, just, I still am, to this day, I look back at all the toys and time that it took to be her, and I thought, it's just me, but it's in my heart, I want it to be that little girl's best friend who has nobody to play with,
Yeah.
So everything talked, everything that we did, like fashion designer CD-ROMs, there were computer games. There was no computer games for girls, none.
True.
So we were on the cutting edge at the time, and we did the first computer game with Barbie and helping little girls design clothes for Barbie. And you design them, you could see her walk across the screen wearing your outfit you designed, and then you could print it out and put it on your Barbie. It was cutting edge,
Yeah, that's
blowing
cool.
minds. They actually they put that into the Video National Hall of Fame.
Oh,
For
did they?
video.
Okay.
Put it in this year, and I went, "Oh, I'm in the Hall of Fame." I'm not. Barbie is, but it was just, it was such a great ride, and it did at some point kind of, come to a certain, I think we hit a strike, and they went up to Canada and did stuff because I couldn't work, and then Toy Story came out, and they told me I was going to be in Toy Story, and Disney decided to use their girl. They didn't really know I existed because I wasn't even allowed to tell people.
Yeah.
So they used somebody else, and I went, huh, that's when you have to go, thank you, I've had so much work, I'm so blessed. You can't hold on to it. No, you just think that was it. That was my ride.
It was a good
And there'll
one.
be something else that comes. There'll be something else, and if not, that's okay too. You have to have more in your life than just your business. And yes, take it serious. Work hard at it, but balance out that plate of food. Don't just make it all carbs. Don't make it all meat. Don't make it all dessert. Just have other things in your life that you could say, okay, this is my work, but then I have your sweet wife, your cute little kid. There's things, that matter to you. You have family. There's experiences that are, and I always say this. I said, if I kick the bucket tomorrow, it's like, how do I want to be remembered? Do I want to be remembered as the greatest voice actress in the world? Who cares? Where are you going to take that?
Yeah.
If I'm dead, there's going to be somebody else doing my job. But I hopefully that there's something I've done that has resonated and helped be kind to people. And, when I go to a session, I don't, it's not just the job for me. I just want to make sure I'm with somebody that they want to be around, somebody that is sincere, not you come in and you dump, all this baggage.
Right.
You come and you be a person that's professional and a happy person,
I'd like to hang around you a couple of times.
I'll hang around you anytime. when you asked me to do this podcast, I thought I I had a few people that really like you, and they go, "Oh, you want to do this?"
Really?
You know, and it's true because you're not going to know that, but I'm going to know that. And it's like, just so that you know, when you put your head on your pillow at night, it's not about all this gig stuff. It's like, you're well liked, and you're a good person. And that's people that feel that way about you.
Well, thank you.
I'm here just to confess it. That's all.
Well, thank you to those people out there who,
It's true.
you know,
It's true.
I
Oh,
appreciate that. I took this endeavor back in November of last year, and here we are in May. Almost 30 episodes, and I'm just like, this is pretty
yeah.
nice. So I think,
It's a good fit. It fits,
yeah.
It's like when you slip on those pair of shoes and they go, oh yeah, those are comfy, those are good.
Mhm.
The thing about the business is, it's like you can if you have a depth to your own, who you are. It's like a radar. You can feel it. You can feel when people are legit.
Yeah.
You're the kind of guy who likes to connect with people. Podcast is our it's our wagon that takes us through, but you're the driver of it, and you're driving, and it's like it has a certain feel to it. It's like I'm one of those people that I sense that right away. I can tell. It's like, I don't even want to waste my time if it's somebody who's just just in it to win it. That's just not who I am.
Yeah.
So and half the time I don't make any sense. I'm just kind of rambling. So
Well, we will get along just fine because I tend to ramble as well. And
I got a cat like your kitty.
Yeah.
Kitty, he's about 20 pounds because we can't get him. He just likes his dry food, and I got one of those machines that feeds him on a regular.
Yeah, I got a feeder too. But
gotta work.
that dude, when they get the zoomies and he's just running up and down the stairs, now he's peeking around. He's like, I'm like, who are you looking at? What are you looking at? And you get out.
What's his name? He's so
Smokey.
cute. Smokey.
Smokey the Terror. That's what we call him. But no, he's good. He's around here. He's usually in the studio with me.
Where are you, Smokey? Smokey.
Yeah, he's probably sitting outside the door like, so you're not gonna let me in? You're just not gonna let me in?
Yeah.
I had one more question, and I will let you go, but I forgot.
Okay, well, let me just, because I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Okay, so thank you for telling me about your one secret wish. I really love that. That was very important to me. That you shared that, and I hope everybody that heard that will just keep on expecting it for you. And when we hang up or go away or turn it off, what are you gonna go do?
When we're done here, I actually received an email for a 15-second spot. And then once I've done that, I will probably go seek out my wife and harass her for a while.
Okay, and do this for me. Then you got a mission.
Okay.
Go to your wife, give her a hug, and say, somebody thought I did a really good job today. Hug her.
That is my promise to you. I will do just that.
Because I'm going to meet her someday too.
Yeah.
Because you're good people, she's going to be good people.
Well, I'm in LA often for work. So,
oh yeah.
So we'll definitely make that connection.
Will ya?
Absolutely, we will make it happen.
Okay. I'm gonna write.
I got my question. It came back. See, getting old doesn't always suck. Going back to two questions. I'm working over here because now everything's coming back. My recall,
Yeah, because I distracted you.
Yeah, it's a thing. So I wanted to touch on two things. One,
okay.
For the Actually, it's 3. Now they're all coming up. But here's the thing.
Okay, it is now Thursday.
Yes, it is. It is.
Merry Christmas. It's now Christmas.
Here,
Okay. I'm kidding
so
you.
here's
You
the
sit
thing.
next to me.
When was it okay for you to let people know that you were Barbie?
Oh. That's a real
Because
I
if
don't
they
think
had you
you
under
ever
that,
asked me that.
the veil of secrecy for all those years, did they ever go, well, this would be a great marketing thing,
Okay.
or whatever their reasoning? When was it
No one's
okay
ever
to
asked me
say, hey, you can let the cat out the bag?
that. Okay. Well, remember I said there was Toy Story
Mm-hmm.
came out, and they had said, guess what? You're going to be in an animated feature. Your Barbie's in this movie. I went, oh my gosh, I was elated. I called all my friends. I called my mom and dad. I called everybody. The next day I went in, they said, they're going to go with somebody else
Yeah.
because Disney uses their own people, their own girl. I went, what? I've been Barbie for almost 9 years, but not really knowing a lot of that. They used somebody else who has red hair, is under the sea, and has a green tail. Oh, it's a Disney character that's really well known. Are you getting the
Mm-hmm.
drift? Okay. I could say her name, but I'm just.
I got you.
So they used her. I went, what? All this time, Barbie? At that point, everybody's into Toy Story. I thought, I'm going to go see the movie that I'm not in.
Oh.
The credits are rolling. Now, I haven't been able to tell anybody I was Barbie for all those years. I had people interviews. I think remember Rosie O'Donnell wanted me to go on her show way back. I had people that really wanted to know who Barbie was. So I'm saying that because it's just a little side note.
Yeah.
The credits are rolling, and it says the voice of Barbie, and it had her name up there. And I went, people went, oh, that's who Barbie was.
Oh.
I thought, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to, if they're okay with letting that roll and that's doing that,
Yeah.
the cat's out of the bag. And I'm not as, I was transitioning out. I said, I'm going to find my freedom now. And my husband, so sweet, he goes, you know what? We're going to gather up your toys that you recorded. I have over hundreds of toys.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I think I sent you a picture. There was me sitting with, I was dressed kind of in pink, and behind me, let's see if it's on the wall. Okay,
Sure.
He sets up all my toys.
Oh, yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go with that for your picture.
Hundreds of toys. He put it by me, goes, whether they know it or not, that's, you did all that work, all those computer games, all the teacher Barbie. I did Spanish speaking Barbie and I didn't speak Spanish. I did cool shopping Barbie. And I'm looking at this and I was like, this was just toy after toy. And it took me, we did one doll that had thousands of names in it because they wanted, when you picked up this doll, her mouth would open and say the kid's name that was playing with her.
Oh.
So they had to program into her thousands of names. So we did months of Susie, Linda, Marie. Then we Consuela, Zodita, Capata. We went through
What?
We went through baby books and we did Spanish and Cantonese and French. We did all these things, months of just doing. And I finally, my husband sets up all the toys for me. He goes, we're going to take this picture and you're going to say, and that's why this picture is so special because my husband did this for me. He's the one who said, you know what? That's your legacy. You did all that work, whether they, you can say it or not. It was so special to me. I felt really like finally it's okay.
Yeah.
Whatever I was able, the privilege to do that job and to be her, it was beyond my, I just was so grateful. And I look back and I think that was my body of work, and I was really happy during that time. And it's like it was done, and then you move on, and you just accept it and go to the next thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty dusty. I just took it off the wall.
Well,
That's a great
you make sure you give him a hug for me, and
deal.
yes, because that is real cool to do. And it also feels good to know that maybe the outside world doesn't recognize the work, but it's something that when those in your circle know, like, hey, we see you,
Yeah,
we know what you did.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a beautiful feeling. Um,
yeah.
which now leads into the final question. So here on the podcast,
I am a true blonde, if that's what you're thinking. That's the
I
question,
knew it.
right?
I knew it.
I'm lying. Okay. See, this is why you can't get to your question, because I keep like distracting you.
You're that kid while I'm driving the bus. Are we there yet? Sit
I got kicked
down.
off the school bus. I got kicked off the school bus once back when, because the bus driver said, he goes, "You were making so much noise back there," and I went, "This is gonna be." I'm friends with Tre. He's back here too.
Yeah, we're back here throwing spitballs at everybody. So I usually ask my guests at the end of the show. Um, it's called Take Time Out with Tre Mosley, and thank you for taking time out today. Um, but the question is, what do you, Chris? What do you do to take time out for yourself?
Hmm. You know, let's see. What do I do? Gosh, I mean, I know you want something kind of tangible. I do like going to the movies. I love going to the movies and just like, sitting in that dark theater and your popcorn and just love. That's one of my little happy places. But to be honest with you, I'm kids. Put me with kids anywhere. I have in my trunk of my car. I have a huge puppet. He's like this big. His name's Charlie. He's blue and furry, and I just pull him out randomly. If I see two policemen talking, I'll take them out. Kids come around my car. My, and I'm saying that because that's my fun. It's like I just being around kids. If you go to a party and you see adults in one room, I'm gonna be in
You go
that
hang with
room
the
with the
kids.
kids. That's where I am. That's my happy place. That's what does it for me. So that's my answer. Just put me around a bunch of kids, and I'll be happy.
But that speaks to people always say you're young at heart, and I think you definitely personify that because usually adults are like, I don't want to go hang with a bunch of kids. You run towards them like, hey, what's going on?
Where well, actually, I learn a lot from kids still. When you just their innocence and their creativity, and they're just I got a lot of characters from kids, and it's just um
Kids are
their
they're very
hearts,
honest too.
they're honest. Yeah, it's like they like something, don't like something, and it's like there's nothing better than the sound of a kid laughing. It's really, it's just so good. And yeah, thanks for asking. That's probably a very deep felt question for me. That's why I like Adventures in Odyssey, because I'm with kids,
Yeah,
and kids, uh, they trust me because I'm the host of the show. I talk to them, at the beginning,
you
at the
set the
end, and
stage. Yeah,
yeah, and it's like they'll give me times where, can you call this kid? They'll give me a paper and says it's maybe he's going through a rough time, or it's his birthday or something. And I just talk to them, and I'll say a little prayer for them. It's like we talk and we connect, and it's like it's the best feeling. I'm on the phone and I'm talking to this one kid, and he answers the phone and he goes, I go, "Hi, this is Chris," because that's how I open the show. "Hi, this is Chris." And he goes, "Chris, Mom, it's Chris." He hangs up the phone. He was so excited, he just hung it up. I went, "Huh? Hello? Hello?" But they talk to me and they tell me, how they don't fit in school sometimes.
yeah.
And I go, oh, at my heart, I just go, don't look for the cool kids. Don't look for the kids with the cool group. Like for the kids by themselves, or maybe reading a book, or they make great friend material because they want to have a friend.
Mm-hmm.
They're not caring about being the cool one. I listen to them talk about struggles, or their dog died,
Yeah.
or it's their birthday and they're 11, and it's like, what are you going to do on your birthday? I say, you're going to eat any kind of cake or ice cream? Because that's my best birthday. And they go, yeah. I go, okay, save me a bite of your ice cream or your cake. And they go, okay. I said, hold up that bite and say this one's for Chris. Okay. And parents will send me pictures of kids holding up the
Like, this is for you.
It's for you. I mean, that's my happy place. That's all I can tell you. It's like, oh,
And that's the place
thanks.
to be. I don't know, just something about being around kids that they keep you
You
young.
are a kid.
They keep you young.
You're a kid at heart, too. You are. I can tell
Oh,
that.
I am a silly Billy. I have so many collectibles. Speaking of Transformers, I got toys galore. I tell my friends
What's your favorite voice you've done? What is your favorite voice you've ever done?
my favorite voice that I have ever done.
Yeah. Is there something? I know it might be hard and kind of, but give me one or two to see. Just like,
Hmm. That is something that I would have to give some thought. Well, other than voicing the lead of my own animated series, which is, that's why this little fella here, him, you
yeah.
know, that would probably be number one. Um, number
Does that mean I can't be on the show? I mean, I want to
I
be
tell
on
you
your
what,
show.
um, hey, Mr. and Mrs. America and all ships at sea, if we get this show funded, you hear it and you heard it here first. I, Tre Mosley, will invite the great Chris Anthony Lansdowne, to be on the show. We'll make a character for you. Uh, that's real. That's real talk. We'll find that when there's a will, there's a way. We just got to
You're
find a way.
magical. You're just magical, Trey. I just love you. You're so
I'm
sweet.
just saying, yeah, they're, and that's what I tell people. I'm like, look, you know, and I keep folks will hit me up, say, hey, can I get a part on your show? I said, well, sure. As soon as we become a show.
Okay, hey, I'll tell you what. I didn't think I'd be I became Barbie. Believe me, that was a stretch.
Yeah,
Me on my bedroom floor, from playing with her as a little kid to doing her voice. Your show's gonna happen.
I will.
The best
I
is
take
yet
it
to
and
come,
receive it.
sir.
I will say this. One of the coolest characters I played, I was not playing anyone. I was me. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So there's a football game that comes out every year called Madden Football. Very popular NFL game. Coach John Madden, he coached the Raiders for years, and they based the game around him, and it has turned into what it is now. So, as a kid playing this game, and now to have my voice in the game,
Yeah,
that is dope. Uh,
that is
when you
really.
turn the game on and the matchup screen, and it's like tonight it's Madden so and so and so, it's the San Francisco 49ers versus the Jets on Madden NFL. I'm like, I said that was me, I did it. But
Yeah,
I
man.
think,
You got a
yeah,
great voice. You do. It's just so seasoned. Oh, remember that pan I was talking about? You are
that comes from putting
seasoned.
a lot of stuff on that large cast iron. I tell you, it's all in here. But but one year they had me do a in-game narration. Coach Madden had just passed at 85 years old.
Oh
So
wow,
the
wow.
next iteration of the game that came out was kind of a tribute to him. And in the game, when you're playing, um, when it goes to halftime, there was a Madden tribute that they had me narrate. So I
Oh,
narrated it, and this was all uh, pre-production. So I narrated. It was like, "Hey, good stuff, man. All right, we'll let you know when the game comes out." Game comes out, and there is you as a player, I got my Xbox, so you're playing the game. Touchdown! I'm doing good, and then halftime comes, and the announcer goes, and now we have a very special tribute to Coach Madden. by our own Tre Mosley. They put my name in the game. So I am literally in the game as me, as a narrator.
That's very
I'll when we're
cool.
done here, I'll send the clip to you so you can see it. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely do
Um,
that. And you're friends with uh Dave Fenoy, right?
absolutely.
Okay. I was on his show once, and I wish I would have asked him that moment what his favorite thing was, because hearing you talk about that, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's, you know,
It is that was
when you're long gone, that little voice is gonna
you
be
better
just
believe it. Some kid will be playing Madden for the first time in 2072. Like, hey, I got this old school game here, and yeah,
that's old school.
you'll be listening to me. So yeah,
That's awesome.
that's something I will cherish and never
Yeah.
forget. Um,
Send that to me. I
yeah,
gotta hear it.
I'll send it to you. So tell the folks how they can find you on the interwebs and see what all's going on in Chris's world and things of that
And Chris's
nature. What's
world,
the best way to reach out to you?
I mean, well, you could just go, "Hey, Chris!" Um, I do answer. You can find me on Facebook, Chris Anthony Lansdowne. My Instagram is Chris Anthony Lansdowne. And I do try to, I'm always telling stories and keeping it fun. So message me, and I try my very best to connect with whoever does. And it's like, 'cause, I got a lot of kids that leave me messages on there from Adventures in Odyssey. It's so sweet. It's like, I always want to talk to them. But yeah, that's how you can reach me. Facebook, Chris Anthony Lansdowne, and Instagram. So that would be a good
And
way.
she does
And
respond. She does
the other one.
respond too. I haven't tried the yell yet, but every other way she will respond to you.
Okay, go hug your wife and pet your
I
kitty.
am going to right
And
now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
you,
so much for being on today. This has been uh informative. It's been fun. It's been silly. All the things that encompass you, we now have a piece of it. And I thank you for being a
oh,
part of this today.
thanks, Trey. That's really sweet. I appreciate that. Okay, buddy.
All right,
Hopefully
guys.
we'll talk again soon.
That is it. We are
Hasta
gone.
lasagna.
Thank you for watching. And now you people out there, go take some time out for yourself. Bye. Thanks for listening to the Take Time Out with Tre Mosley podcast, part of the Titan Media Network. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcasts. To see the video version of this, you can find us on YouTube on the Take Time Out with Tre Mosley YouTube page. Thanks for listening, or thanks for watching. Either way, we'll see you next time.